Ready to do some packing? Hello, welcome. If you're new, thanks for clicking back in. If you're not, so if you don't know me, I'm Olivia. I'm doing, I used to do like some story times about international travel, and I've been doing some lifestyle type of things, you know, just days in my life. And now it's finally time to go international with you. So today we're going to be going over everything I'm packing for a like 2.5 trip, which is going to be mostly Iceland, but 3 bonus countries that we're going to be seeing soon. Forgive me with the angles, by the way. This is a little bit different because usually I do either a talking head or full vlog. I feel like there's a lot of like playing with the angles that I could do to show you these things, but we're gonna try this just like slightly tilted type of thing, and maybe every now and then I'll cut over just showing you opening some things up. But anyways, so I try to do carry-on only travel, and a lot of times that means just like one smaller bag like this one right here. But for longer trips it does mean a larger bag. This is an Osprey Fairview. For those of you who don't know me or haven't seen my international travel story times, I did like a 5-month trip out of the country, and this bag was my main suitcase, my main luggage for a majority of the trip. Unfortunately, it became lost in Europe about 3 months in, and I had to do some pivoting. But yeah, I pretty much lived out of this backpack for a good long while. It's an amazing backpack, 10 out of 10 recommend. So the Osprey obviously goes overhead in the overhead bin, and I know maybe it looks a little bit large to you, or maybe if you're a girl thinking about putting everything important in here, it looks a little small. But in any case, it has always fit in the overhead bin. I've never had trouble. It's got this wonderful compression. Now, you shouldn't overpack it past about this. This is probably about the most packed you want it to be, because if you start pushing it any more than that, that's when you start getting problems in some overhead bins. We will look at this one in a second. First, I wanted to show you my smaller, so this is my personal item bag. And this one is actually new for me. It's a Nemo. I had an Osprey Nova for the longest time, but it is down in Peru with Angel now. And I'm trying to let him just keep it, but I don't know, it's just so hard to adjust to a different bag. Anyways, let me give you a little tour of this bag real quick. Alright, so here's Nemo. One thing I really like so far is that there's this little flap over the top, and it has a way to seal it 2 ways. I have it sealed the more secure way in the back right now. And I'm a little bit worried about this clasp being able to break and things like that. But I'm just going to try to have some faith and be gentle with it, and maybe see if there's a way we can get a spare part. Alright, I'm going to open this up for you guys now. Opening this little clasp is definitely a 2-person task, or a 2-hand task. But that's a good thing because it makes everything inside very secure, because this little flap covers both of my zippers. Another little security feature that I like, well, 2 things. I love hidden zippers. That was a lifesaver when we were on the big trip. So in this one, I was like, we have to have hidden zippers in the small backpacks. We've got one right here. And we also have another one as we open this up. Let me see. So it's not a full clamshell. A clamshell is when it opens all the way to the side. I'll show you that with the Osprey Fairview. But basically this is what we have inside. And going on about security, there's another little zipper right here. I like this much better than meshes. Because it's just a lot more secure, and you can't see what's inside, so this is helpful if I wanted to have like cash and stuff. For right now, my passport's just in here, and for right now, that's all that's in there. So yeah, we've got this one large compartment here, and then we've got a compartment up here. It's not quite as secure because, like I said, there's 2 different ways to use this clasp, and you can clasp all the way for more security, or you can clasp right here, which gives you a little bit more expansion, but anything that's up here in this top is going to possibly be able to fall out because there's going to be holes. I don't have anything. Oh, I do. I have my toiletry bag in there for right now, and one of my packing cubes here. And then there is one more compartment in the very back that actually has a laptop section, which is great for me because now I'll be bringing laptops along with me to edit. And then I just, for now, have the laptop charger. All right, I'll cut back to myself. All right, so now that I kind of showed you the layout of this backpack, I'll tell you what all I'm planning to put in it. So far I have my toiletry bag, which I don't really have a whole extra set of travel toiletries, so this just kind of has some stuff in it so I can get an idea of how it feels, mostly full, or the full that I'll have it to, just to keep in mind with packing. But I don't usually pack my toiletries until like basically the day before, because a lot of my toiletries are things that I don't have 2 sets of. Anyways, and then this is one of the best inventions in the world, packing cubes. So I always have my underwear with me on my personal item, because while our goal is to be carry-on only, every now and then this bag ends up having to get put below if there's not space in the overhead and everything. And that happening is what resulted in me having my bag lost when we were in Europe back in 2022. So anything that's like full, like super important, like underwear and toiletries that I wouldn't want to have to go even 24 hours without, I try to keep in my personal item. So this underwear bag, I think I can just show it to you like this and open it up. You get to see my underwear. Oh my gosh. So I've got bras up here on the top. What I would say is I can't speak for bigger chested girls because I'm not blessed with that, or maybe cursed, I guess it depends. Anyways, because my chest is smaller, I can do just like, you know, bralettes and things that don't require as much support. If you don't need that underwire and that form, it's best not to pack it, because it's harder to pack bras with form, and they get squished, all the things. Okay, I definitely just got on a whole ramble about bras, but going back to these ones right here, these are actually merino wool bras. And if you are not familiar with merino wool underwear, you might be like, oh my gosh, why would you want a wool bra? They're amazing. They hardly need to be washed compared to regular bras. They stay so clean, they keep you nice and dry, and they're super packable because it's literally just cloth. So I have 2 bralettes, one nude, one black, and then I did, because we're going to be doing some active things, this same company, so I get my merino wools from Brawin. Actually, both of these I had on the big trip, and they've held up great for me. I also have some regular underwear from Brawin. I totally recommend. For right now, they only have women's underwear, so if you're a guy, sorry. But if you're a girl, I totally recommend you check them out. I'm not sponsored or anything, just a company I genuinely enjoy and has been helpful for me. So like I said, they also have a like a thicker sports bra. This one might also give you a little bit more support if you're someone who needs that. So I brought that if I end up in a situation where I need it. So compact and great. You saw how little space that took up. And then moving on to underwear. So I do have some merino wool underwear. It is from Brawin. And 2 of my merino wool underwears are actually ones I took on the big trip. So again, just like a testament to how long these things can hold up, because that trip was back in 2022. And then I got some more tight friendly, you know, like tights friendly underwear. I am a little bit particular about making sure I've got a good amount of underwear, because I'm going to go on a little nurse rant here. When you're a female, you need to be being careful about changing your underwear frequently, because the last thing you want is to get an infection when you're in a different country, especially countries that have very different standards of healthcare than our own. So with all that said, I have 10 pairs of underwear in here. And we'll still be doing some laundry days, but that gives me a little bit of grace between laundry days if something were to happen. Another thing you can do is if you get 2 in between laundry days, you can always just wash them in the sink because they're underwear. Hang them up somewhere and, you know, make sure they dry overnight. Although I will say, depending on the climate you're in, sometimes it takes up to 2 days. So please be careful with that because even worse than not having clean underwear is having wet underwear that you need to put in your backpack. That's a nightmare. All right. And then the last thing, underwear wise, they're falling out a little bit, is the socks. Socks are also merino wool. Everything is merino wool. Merino wool does cost a little bit more, but I am telling you, if you are going to have limited laundry days, all these things are going to be worn multiple times. It's just worth the investment. Keeps you warm and dry too. So anyways, I have like 5 pairs of long socks. That way I have several days worth and a backup if something were to get wet. And then for right now, I just have 1 pair of short socks. But I'm hoping to get a couple more short socks to kind of put in there, just so I don't have to be wearing long socks all the time. Alrighty, and then I think I already showed you, I have the laptop and the charger, and this backpack seems a little bit empty right now because I actually need to put the camera gear in here too. This is my first time traveling with camera gear like this. My travel companion Angel is a photographer, and he was usually the one packing all his camera gear, and so like I have secondhand experience with it, but this is my first time doing it full on for myself as well. So I feel a little bit intimidated, but I know that I'm leaving myself enough of extra space, so we'll get it. With the camera gear, I have the camera itself, which I'm talking to you with right now. Of course, chargers, extra batteries, a couple of extra SD cards. And I also got a couple of lights because if we wanted to do any nighttime filming. But you know, the lights are actually pretty big. Like one of them, let me see if I can show you. Here they are. Alright, so these lights both can attach to my camera. This one is also magnetic. I'm debating if I really want to bring both of these because this is, especially this one, is a lot of weight and space, even though of course I'll take them out of the boxes. So I'm thinking I'll probably just take this one, and then we can use the flash on our phones if we needed any extra light. I'm gonna miss my ring light so bad. Alrighty, so I feel like we pretty much have a gist for what all's in this Nemo personal bag. So now we're going to go to the main luggage, which is my beautiful Osprey Fairview. I didn't check to see if the Fairview is still there. I think they are still making it. The reason I had to switch to Nemo is because they actually discontinued the Novas. So anyways, like I said, great compression here. We'll go ahead and pop it real quick. Tell you what, let me go ahead and switch cameras again, and I'll show you what this looks like opening up and kind of explain what a clamshell open style means. Alright, so here's Osprey. I went ahead and unhooked the compression. I have these 2 nice mesh pockets here that I can use. I usually will just put little things like sunglasses, maybe a water bottle. I always have at least 1 or 2 plastic bags because those come in handy in a million different ways. This one has a little top compartment here. You can also just put small things. If you are carrying the backpack to the front, I find it's really helpful to like put, wallets and passports here when I'm going through checkpoints. And then here is our beautiful clamshell. So a clamshell goes all the way around and opens up like a clam. It is wonderful for organization. I love it so much, especially for my primary luggage. So let's put this in center frame here. Sorry, I just wanted to make another quick cut to show you the magic that is packing cubes. These are more packing cubes. I really wish that I could tell you the brand, just because these packing cubes, something a little bit special that not all packing cubes have, is that they have double face, so that whenever you have dirty clothes, they can go into this pouch and be separated. The brand is pretty much rubbed off. Maybe I should try to like reverse Google search something like some of the logo stuff, because seriously, these ones are great. They held up the whole time, and I would like to get myself 1 or 2 extra of the small ones that I have my underwear in, but I just am not sure what the brand is. Alrighty, so here's my Fairview all opened up. You can see there's compression internally as well, which is amazing. I have managed to put 2 jackets here, well, a sweater and a jacket. I have a little story about the sweater. This sweater is from Iceland, because we've been seeing a lot of, like, Angel and I were thinking about photos and things like that, because the Icelandic landscape, you really want colors that help pop against it. And we were seeing a lot of photos of these girls in these kind of oversized, almost sweater dress type of things, or like boyfriend style, with like a white sweater. And I really liked the look. I thought it was adorable. So I ordered a like an Icelandic style sweater with this little decoration towards the top. But it's huge. Look at it. It's so big. And I get it, and my backpacker heart was just like, that takes up so much space. And it doesn't really seem like it would be very simple or easy to wash. It's probably going to take a long time to dry. I am honestly still on the fence about whether or not to bring it. At first, I was thinking I wouldn't even be able to fit it in the backpack. It does fit, but again, it's so much space. And I'm actually still waiting on one more jacket, because Angel and I, my travel companion, we ordered some jackets down in Peru as well, because they were cheaper than up here. So I'm kind of like, I really think that this space should be for that jacket. That jacket's a bright color too. It's not as cute and as aesthetic, it's not as much of an aesthetic potential as this beautiful thing could be. But also, when you're traveling backpacks only, trying to stick with carry-on only, you really have to think about weight and space. So for right now, it does technically fit into the suitcase or the luggage, but we will have to see if I actually bring it. Alrighty, I will put this beautiful sweater off to the side. So I had ordered this sweater off of a website with clothing from Iceland, actually. Another thing I got from that same website, which I don't question or like borderline regret, is this beautiful raincoat. It's that classic yellow, and it's going to stand out so great. It's going to be amazing for pictures. It's also very good quality. They have this little adjustable Velcro here for the sleeve. They also have Velcro seals here. And the hood goes all the way up onto your head to help keep you dry. Yes, this raincoat, I love it so much. And I haven't even worn it yet because we haven't got rain, but I'm looking forward to the first time I get to. Alrighty, and then the other things I have in the top compartment so far are just some rain pants. This is my first time doing rain pants. Everybody says you should have them for Iceland, and I don't know. They just, if you haven't ever worn rain pants before, they're just so ugly. These are from North Face. They're meant to go over your regular pants if you were to get caught in a storm. So I know that, like, they're just utility and everything, but raincoats can be cute and umbrellas can be cute, but as far as I've seen, rain pants can't. Let me know down below if you use rain pants, if you've found any hacks for like the aesthetic side to them, or if this is just kind of how rain pants are. Alrighty, and now we're going to move on to the jackets. I'm going to be talking to you about another company. This one is actually based down in Peru. They are called Packa, and I absolutely love them. I actually met one of their employees on one of my plane rides down to Peru. They have a shop in Cusco, and you know, I feel like they might be opening one in Lima. I'm not 100% sure. They also do like shipping. I don't want to say worldwide, but I know they ship to the US, and they are just incredible. They make gear made out of alpaca from the Peruvian Andes. It is so warm and soft. This is their lightweight jacket. I wore this when I went down to Puno, Peru, which is like 13,000 feet up. Somewhere between 13 and 15,000 feet up. Very high. It's actually the highest lake in the world. Lake Titicaca. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. But anyways, it gets pretty cold up there, especially in the night between the altitude and all that. So this was a little investment piece that I did for Puno. and now it's coming to Iceland with us. I'm so excited. I already know it's great quality. I wish they had brighter colors, because this was one of the brighter colors that I could get. I'm like, Packa, please, if you're watching this, make some like obnoxious bright colors for me and other people who want to take your gear to Iceland, okay? And then also from Packa, I have this sweater. This is just an alpaca wool sweater. It's wonderful and warm and soft, and it actually washes pretty easily as well. And I got this green color to kind of complement the gray that I have here. Absolutely love it. 10 out of 10 recommend. Not sponsored or affiliated, but 10 out of 10 recommend. Alright, so then for more magical packing cubes like I just showed you, I just have 2 right in here. Also up here, my shoes are going to go here. I'll show you my shoes here in a second. So with the packing cubes, some people organize it by outfit, some people organize it by top bottom. I feel like those are the 2 main styles that I've seen. Let me know if you have a different style, if you like to pack this way. Anyways, I do tops and bottoms. That's just what works for me. So these are my tops. I have, of course, thermal tops to go underneath everything else. And then I have a bunch of merino wool t-shirts. I'm actually thinking I'm going to get a couple more. The brand I'm using this time around, I have Merino Tech. And I tried out this company called Unbound Merino. And honestly, they didn't really have my size. I tried getting one size up and they were just too big. So I'll be returning those and getting a couple more Merino Tech, because I can get those nice and fast on Iceland. Oh! Before I totally write off Unbound Merino, I am liking their t-shirt in a small, just so they have a pretty good size chart. I feel like it's accurate. The small is like a close fit for me, and I'm 5'5", about 145 pounds with about a 28-inch waist. Haven't measured myself in a while, but my clothes still fit the same, so just in case you were interested in it too. I feel like Merino Tech is also a little bit less costly, so if you're someone interested in Merino Tech is also on Amazon, so you can get that nice fast shipping. But you know, Unbound Merino had pretty fast shipping too. And then over this way, we're about to have a conversation because these are my pants. And for right now, I've got 2 thermal underwear. Because as far as like pants, I don't need to change this as often, even when they're thermal pants. So those could probably be good for like 3 or 4 days each, honestly, at least, especially if we're in cooler weather. And then I have these tights. Let me see if I can remember. Oh, they're from Athleta, and they're just fleece tights.
That.
I really like the ribbing on the front and the sides. They have some pockets. This is one of the bottoms that I wore on my big trip. And I even wore it in Sweden when we first got to Sweden. They were almost enough on their own, although I would recommend pairing them with some thermal underwear if you can get them on underneath. I also wore these in Puno, where it's about, usually it runs in the 40s, and it was perfectly comfortable on its own. The thing about Iceland though is people are always talking about how everything needs to be, you know, water resistant and stuff like that, and I pretty much just have fleece lined tights and jeans and of course scrub pants, but I'm not going to go travel with those. So I was like, okay, I think that I need to make an investment. But shopping for pants has been a nightmare for me ever since I hit puberty. And the problem is we don't really have like fleece lined water resistant wear around here right now, because the average outside is usually in the 70s still. So I had to order online, and I was flipping out because, again, buying pants is just so crazy for me, and then I have to buy pants that I don't even know how they're gonna fit me. So these are all the pants I bought. And the insane thing is, each pair of these pants is probably close to $100 because they're geared towards like activewear and everything. And because I wasn't sure what size, some of this is literally me buying one size and then the next size just to see which one is going to fit better. Oh my gosh, I promised myself that I'm going to pick maybe 2 or 3 favorites and return the rest. So I can just give you a little tour of them, but basically it's just a bunch of different thermal tights with varying levels of water resistance. A lot of them are kind of more geared towards skiing, but I went for black because black pairs better with everything. And for pants, pants are more likely to get dirty towards the bottoms, so it's just better to have black in my opinion. So yeah, my little homework for tonight is going to be trying on all these beautiful pants and picking my favorites, and then figuring out how to return the rest. And then the last thing in here is just some pajamas. So if the van's too cold, we'll sleep in our thermal underwear. If not, I always sleep with shorts and tank top. That's just my thing. And so the shorts will go here. And then once I find a tank top where the strings are still secure enough, that'll be coming here too. Now let's look at my shoes. Alright, so one of the big recommendations was waterproof hiking boots. I don't have hiking boots to begin with, and I definitely don't have any waterproof anything. And I knew that that would be worth it because keeping your feet dry is key to staying warm. So here's my beautiful Hokas. If you watched my weekly vlog, you can see where I went and bought them. They're definitely investment, but they are perfect. I already have Hokas that I used, just like regular sneaker type Hokas that I used to walk between Hidroelectrica all the way to Aguascalientes back in like 2021. And those Hokas also went with me on the big trip, and we used them for a little bit of hiking that we did in Mexico and also India. So yes, just a great brand. And this one's got a little bit more arch support, and I poured my water bottle on them after taking them for a test hike, and they are definitely water resistant. They are great. They're a little bit heavy. Honestly, not too bad for hiking boots. I mean, like, but because they're the biggest heavy ones, they're obviously going to be the ones that I take onto the plane with me. Like, they'll be the ones on my feet. And with backpacking, you really don't have room for all that many shoes, especially now that I'm going to be having camera gear, which takes a little bit of the extra space. When I went on my big trip, I believe I had a pair of sandals, and then my hiking Hokas, and then I actually had 2 more additional sneakers. I packed like, yeah, 4 pairs of shoes in this backpack. And then my other bag that I can't show you because it's down in Peru. So yeah, I'm actually really surprised by that now. Anyways, we're not bringing that many this time. We're just gonna have the hiking Hokas, and then I've got these beautiful, these are Suaves. They make my feet look so cute. And they are kind of water resistant too, but not as much as the hiking Hokas, and they are white. I know what you're thinking. White probably isn't the best choice, especially when you have limited resources for cleaning the shoes, especially with these being mostly cloth shoes. I did learn pretty quick on the big trip that these got dirty pretty easily and quick, and I still hauled them around with me and wore them a couple times. I ended up wearing Angel's white Converse every now and again too because they just stayed whiter. But these are just so comfy. They're cuter than the other shoes that I have for right now, and because I had already invested in the Hokas for this trip, I wasn't going to get myself more new shoes. So we're going to go for the white and say a couple little prayers. I also packed these because they're super packable, being cloth and everything. I mean, you can compress them down like this. And then the last footwear I'm bringing is just going to be some sandals for, you know, if we go swimming, things like that. We're hoping to go to some of the lagoons. And yeah, that's pretty much my whole packing list. Like I said, I do have a couple of little things I still need to throw in there, but it feels like such a relief to have like 90% of it already done. And I can partially thank you for that because I knew I wanted to have this video sharing this with you, so I had to be a little bit more on my game. And that's awesome. I feel so much more prepared now. I think one of the most difficult things is trying to prepare for cold weather. Like, we're planning for it to be in the 30s most of the time, maybe occasionally 40s, maybe even down into the 20s if it gets really cold. And the thing is, because of where I'm living right now, I haven't felt weather like that since at least March. And so I'm trying to remember what 30 and 40 degrees feels like when the coolest I've felt in a long time was in the mid 60s. I have honestly never been the best at packing for cool weather, in part because of, where I grew up. I grew up in East Tennessee, where it's a super, super cold day and we might even close or delay school if it gets into the teens. And although I have lived in states that get a little bit cooler, I have never lived through a winter in a northern state before. Really, some of my best training that I got about cold weather, like how to dress in cold weather, was when we were in Sweden and we went to the ice hotel. And if they would not have lended us, like they included in the price of the hotel, they have winter weather gear that you can loan out from a little shop they have in there. If they didn't have that stuff, I really think we would have just been stuck in our cabin the whole time because it was dangerously cold out there. It was a cold I didn't even understand, especially with that much snow and the amount of time that we would be outside. I mean, it was kind of self-limiting between that and the dark. Because, we have snow days every now and again in Tennessee, but yeah, I was definitely about to get off on a tangent there. Anyways, put me a little snowflake emoji down below if you made it this far. I appreciate you so much. This is pretty much the close of the video. I did want to just give you a little bit of an update as far as what all is about to start happening, because this is currently Thursday night, but I am posting this the week after, and then we're not going to be getting any more content. Yeah, we won't be getting any more content until Sunday. And on Sunday, I will already have been abroad. I'm going to start sharing the airport with you, all those sorts of things. I ultimately decided, I already have a little bit of a delay in when I post, because editing's a process. And initially I had this whole dream of doing it real time. And I see why people don't do that. So we're probably going to have, about a 3 or 4 day delay between when things are filmed and when they're put up, but you are going to be getting almost daily videos starting Sunday, September 22nd, until I get back into the States mid-October. So you have that to be looking forward to. If this is something interesting to you and you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit those notifications, and we are going to be on a little break. And then starting this Sunday, you're about to be seeing a lot of me and all these adventures. I am so excited. But for tonight or today, whenever you're watching, go out there and make your own day a little better. Maybe someone else's too. And can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye. Hey internet bestie, see, this thing really is so amazing and cute. Oh my gosh, I just had to show you. By the way, here is your crown for being one of my internet besties, for staying along all the way till past the credits. And this time around, just for you and me to both know, you can put down below your guess at what other countries I'm going to be going to, because we're going to Iceland, but we're going to 3 more. You could just put a flag emoji, or you can write the country out, whichever one. I won't be spoiling it for you, but I will give you a little like, and maybe also a little smiley face or emoji related to that country. Anyways, I am so excited for you to be along for the adventure with me, and I'm already so sure that if you're somebody invested enough to be sticking around to the very end of the video, you're way more likely to be seeing me in the next video. So we'll see each other again next time. Bye bye!